Support WrestleTalk!
Donate on Patreon. Dean Ambrose is still teasing that heel turn. Alexa Bliss doesn't know how old she is. And the Brothers of Destruction comeback was so big, all of Shawn Michaels' hair ran away. I'm Ollie Davis, and I'm in no position to joke about people's hairlines. Give us a subscribe, press the thumbs up button, let me know what you thought of Raw in the comments below because I'll be replying from out of nowhere, allegedly. And click the eye above my head to give your rating, where you can choose from in awe, core, average, poor and bore, as I review the 1st of October 2018 Super Showdown Go Home edition of Monday Night Raw in about 4 minutes. The episode opened with a fantastic in-ring interview between Dean Ambrose and Charlie Caruso. Sorry, Renee. Addressing his apparent frustration with the Shield from last week, Ambrose cut a brilliant promo that both furthered his character arc, yet still maintained its vague intrigue. He brought up not having a title, being replaced by Jason Jordan, asked whether he's just waiting for the perfect moment to stab the Shield in the back. But it was never certain whether he was being genuine or sarcastic. You've just got to judge him by his actions, he said, and the Shield are a brotherhood. A wild Baron Corbin then appeared and gave Ambrose 3 options. Fight Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title, Roman for his Universal belt, or go up against Braun Strowman. Ingeniously still not revealing his hand, Ambrose went for the 4th option, kicking Baron's ass right now, so Corbin booked the Strowman match. Ambrose held his own in a pretty decent bout, but Reigns and Rollins caused the DQ loss after a Braun power slam. In the Shield's minds, it was to make sure Dean wouldn't be injured for their Super Showdown match this Saturday. But for Dean, it only fueled his paranoia, saying the brilliant line to Rollins backstage afterwards, "You know, it's funny. I could be Intercontinental Champion right now." That was the best line of the show, and this was a very good show. Because of the DQ, Corbin also booked Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for later on, and Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler right now, which Roman won with a spear. LOL. Go away, Natalia! Some more popular girls are my friends now. Super babyface Ronda Rousey came out with the Bella twins instead of her longtime bestie to face Ruby Riott next. Nothing was made of Liv Morgan's real concussion last week, which could have added some much-needed realism to their uninspiring 6-woman tag at Sunday's Super Showdown. Instead, Ronda tapped out Ruby with an armbar to make this match even less interesting. Speaking of uninteresting, all aboard WWE segue right into a brick wall. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are still facing the Ascension, and it's entered yet another level of frustration because they're actually telling a somewhat engaging story now. Bobby, as Chad's mentor, is showing him how to defeat a larger opponent in Konnor, a worthy undercard storyline, but one that means nothing because Gable and Roode have already beaten the Ascension in tag matches twice. The crowd seemed to agree, being deathly quiet for Konnor's victory over Roode because of Victor attacking Chad on the outside, or in WWE doublespeak, stunned silence. Alexa Bliss brought back her Moment of Bliss segment next to build her Evolution match against Trish Stratus. She told a very funny, if chronologically inaccurate, story of Trish burping in Alexa's face when she asked for an autograph as a 7-year-old fan. Problem is, Alexa was born in 1991. It's depressing. And Trish didn't start wrestling until the year 2000. Maths. Remember how the Revival had that great match against McIntyre and Ziggler last week, and the rumors that Vince McMahon himself was impressed with them? It doesn't mean a thing because they lost to the B team here, which was in fact a way to get AOP over, who attacked Dallas and Daxel in the post-match. At least they're pushing AOP, with Corbin endorsing them heavily backstage, and Drake Maverick now dresses like an actual manager rather than a fan who won a competition. The faction tensions continued backstage before McIntyre versus Rollins, with not just Dean delivering yet another awesome line to Roman, "If I wasn't such a nice guy, I might be Universal Champion right now." But Strowman also teasing Dolph is their team's weak link. Determined to prove otherwise, Seth versus Drew ended with Ziggler costing Rollins the match, which led to the Dogs of War brawling with the Shield, complete with bonus Dean holding an axe handle. Judge him by his actions, and it's still difficult to know what he's thinking, which is what makes Ambrose such an engaging character at the moment. The Dogs of War stood tall at the end though, having the go-home angle audacity of doing the Shield fist bump. Nipple! It's like the Eye of Sauron. But despite Dean's brilliant character arc, Raw was stolen by an Elias and Kevin Owens segment. Thanks to the lively Seattle crowd, what has been a Raw third-hour filler feud, infuriatingly wasting the KO quit storyline, was transformed into one of the longest sustained crowd reactions in WWE history. Flipping the "your local sports team sucks" convention on its head, Elias pointed out Seattle doesn't even have one, with their beloved basketball team moving to Oklahoma in 2008. The line sent the crowd into over 6 minutes of intense booing. F4W Online's Brian Alvarez tweeted in attendance at the show, "This is the craziest negative reaction I've ever heard live. I am not kidding." Unfortunately, Owens and Elias had to stick to their scripted promo about John Cena, ironically not being able to capitalize on the organic moment like Cena undoubtedly would have, and Lio Rush was unable to turn the negative heat into a babyface reaction for Bobby Lashley, likely because he's not allowed to improvise around the script. The crowd went quiet for the ensuing rather tedious match, which Owens won after an Elias distraction. Bayley beat Alicia Fox in a mirror image of Finn Balor's win over Jinder Mahal last week to hype Mixed Match Challenge 2, and then the main event segment saw Shawn Michaels backing Triple H to beat The Undertaker at Super Showdown. The Kane and the Dead Man to appear behind him. It was so shocking, all of Shawn's hair disappeared. Triple H ran down for the save, but the Brothers of Destruction got the better of them, hitting the double choke slam. Michaels took a bump, and then tombstoning Hunter to leave him lame. Taker and Kane posed at the top of the ramp after destroying DX to close the show. Wait a second, let me just check something. No, this is 2018. Forgive me getting confused, but last time that happened, I was 7 years old. This was a great episode of Raw, with the Ambrose storyline, the nostalgia of seeing the Brothers of Destruction beat up DX, and the unexpected nuclear reaction to Elias and KO. Ladies and gentlemen, but let's be honest, way more gentlemen, I'm in a good mood, and I adored this episode. Sure, it had a few bits that dragged, but the majority was great to spectacular, and that means I'm going to say something I unfortunately have hardly ever done before. This week's Raw is in awe. Liv Morgan has made her first comments about the Brie Bella botch from last week's Raw. Click the WrestleTalk.com link on screen now to find out what she said. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.